Hi, Ben Carpenter here. I'm going to discuss with you what I consider to be my absolute golden rule of weight training. I've had a couple of people ask me in the last 24 hours about training frequency. So what I'm going to do is ask you a couple of questions on training frequency and then give my own opinion on it. So if you train legs on a Monday, or let's say you do chest and biceps, International Chest Day on a Monday, how long is it before you can train your chest again? I.e., how long is optimal between sessions? And if you're breaking up body parts, how many days in a row is the limit that you can train? Could you train 4 days in a row, 5 days in a row, 7 days in a row, 14 days in a row, etc.? So get your answer to those questions in your head. What I'm going to do is give my own take on this question. So, to me, there's no black and white answer on this, but what I'm going to do is give you my really straightforward, simple solution. The reason why I don't think there's any black and white answers to this is because there are so many variables involved. For example, let's say you did a high volume leg workout on a Monday. That's going to have a different physiological stress to someone that went running, even though it's the same body part. So can someone run on 2 consecutive days? What about a high volume leg workout? What about if someone's doing a low volume but very heavy weight workout? What about if someone's doing total body training and they're only doing 6 sets of legs in that hour? Can they train legs again on the Tuesday because the total volume is much lower? So what about how long someone's been training for? So if someone's new to the gym, do they have a different length of time they should wait to someone that's been training for 10 years? There's a lot of variables in this, and things that most people give very precise rules to something which they don't technically understand. For example, someone said to me, you shouldn't train more than 2 days in a row, ever, irrespective of body part. Where's he got that from? There are some Olympic weightlifters who do multiple training sessions per day, so why can't you train more than 2 days in a row? So here's how I'm going to simplify a very complicated question. I'm going to present a graph that I've drawn for you which demonstrates Hans-Cellier's general adaptation syndrome principle. So what we have here is the alarm phase. This is the alarm. This is the physiological stress. This is your workout. If you did a very heavy chest workout and you tried it again 2 hours later, you would be weaker than you were. Obviously, you haven't adapted to it yet. So that is this phase. Then you go through a resistance phase, an adaptation phase, and what's called the supercompensation phase. So essentially what you have is, if you train too frequently, if you train a couple of hours after your last workout, chances are you're going to be weaker. Then what happens is your body will adapt, supercompensate, and get stronger. And if you leave it too long, there'll be a detraining effect. For example, if you waited 3 weeks between chest workouts, chances are you will have gone through a detraining phase. So here's what we're going to do. The factors that influence this is very multifactorial. How long you've been training for, what training volume you're using, whether you're going to failure, for example, or if you're stopping short of failure. If someone's using steroids versus if someone's natural, that will influence recovery abilities. So here's what you need to know. Weight training is about adaptation to a physiological stress. The whole point of weight training for muscular hypertrophy or for strength is to supercompensate from last time. So for example, you want to be lifting more weight or the same weight for more reps. Essentially what you're doing is putting more and more stress on your body, forcing it to adapt by growing muscle tissue or gaining strength, etc. So if your frequency is off, if you train too frequently, you won't be stronger than you were last time because you haven't adapted to it yet. If you time it perfectly, so you've adapted to the workout and supercompensated, you will be stronger than you were on your last workout. And if you wait too long, let's say someone goes on holiday for a couple of weeks, they try and hit a 1 rep max as soon as they're back, chances are it's not going to happen. So what is my golden rule? The golden rule is that you must progress. When you're in the gym, you must have progressed from last session. If you haven't progressed, it shows that you haven't recovered and you haven't adapted to the workout that you did previously, for whatever reason. So, if someone's been out drinking, if they haven't eaten much protein the last few days, if someone's been ill, whatever it is, there are loads and loads of factors that are part of it. But the easiest way to tell is whether you have adapted or not by being stronger. If you're stronger, if you can perform more reps at the same weight, if you can perform the same weight, the same reps, but you're using a shorter rest period. If you're running for a longer distance, if you're running the same distance but in a shorter space of time. As long as you're making progress, that is a sign that you are doing things well. If you're training too frequently or not frequently enough, you may find that you're not getting stronger each workout or even getting weaker each workout. So, use this principle to monitor your own workouts. All of my clients have a training log. All of them write down what they do each session. And that is so I can look at it and make adjustments depending on whether they're getting stronger, what exercises they're getting stronger at, when they're hitting a plateau, etc., etc. It allows you to monitor and adjust as necessary. And everyone will have slightly different rules to the next person. That is why it's important that you use your own biofeedback to make your own set of rules, if you will. I know roughly what training frequency works for me at the moment. I know how many workouts I can do before I plateau on the same program. These are things that you should be able to find out for yourself. So, use the very, very basic principle of the general adaptation syndrome, the graph I've just presented, to make sure that every time you're in the gym, you're making progress. That is the number one rule, because you need to adapt to the stimulus that you're putting on your body. If you're not making progress, you're not adapting. If you're not adapting, you're not causing muscle growth, or you're not gaining strength, etc., etc. Adaptation is the most important fundamental to the gym. So make sure you're making progress every single session. When you stop making progress, then it's time to switch things up, whether it's training frequency, intensity, volume, whatever. That's it. So I hope you found it interesting. I'd love to hear your take on it. If you've got any questions, please post them on my Facebook page, which is facebook.com/Ben Carpenter Personal Training, or my Twitter page, which is BDC Carpenter. And thank you for listening. Bye.